guys, welcome to episode 129 of the Cat Lady Podcast. My name is Andrea, also known as the Cat Lady. That's 2 T's, which stands for Craft All the Things. Thank you for joining me. This is primarily a knitting related podcast, though I delve into lots of crafts, hence the Craft All the Things, such as crochet, spinning, lots of fibery crafts. I have a Cricut maker, and I do all sorts of other random jewelries, perler beads. I have a new one to show today, not really super crafty, but another little fun craft project that I'm working on, so I will pull that out later. And I am recording from Michigan, which it is a nice sunny day today. It is February 25th, 2021. So thank you again for joining me. If you are new to the podcast, thanks for tuning in. And I hope you like what you see. And if you do like, please like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much once again for returning and keeping up with me. It is going to be my 6-year podiversary, vlogiversary. Again, I'm still figuring out what I am at the end of March, so that's exciting. I'd like to start a knit along, make along soon, so stay tuned for that. I have some other fun and exciting ideas swirling around my head that relate to the podcast and to the business. I am also a yarn dyer, so if you are interested in hand-dyed yarn, please go to www.thecatlady.com to check me out. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can go to www.ko-fi.com/thecatlady to donate $1 or $2 towards the podcast. So yes, so I'd like to do a knit along. I have some money in the coffee pool I'd like to use for a prize and to ship. Unfortunately, it will not be an international. It'll be US and Canada only because international shipping is a nightmare sometimes. And it costs a lot of money. I don't have that much money. I have enough I can probably ship to Canada. So that is my spiel, so let's get into it. I hate taking a week off. I've determined I really like the weekly format, so I've switched back and forth a lot. I've done weekly, I've done bi-weekly, I've been monthly, I've been all over the place. And then recently I've been switched back to weekly, and it's worked really well. I don't have a ton to share, but it keeps the episodes relatively short, and I don't lose track of what I'm doing. Well, now it's been 2 weeks because I had a life emergency, not emergency, I don't know, life thing I'll talk about later, last week that pretty much derailed everything. So I did not record the podcast. So I still don't have a ton to share, but now it's just like trying to find everything that I want to talk about is like everything just scatters. So but I think I have a handle on everything. I have some brief notes on my phone. If you see anything, if I talk about anything that you want more information about, please reach out. You can comment below. You can message me on Instagram, The Cat Lady. You can join my Facebook group, The Cat Lady. I'm all over the interwebs as The Cat Lady, except for YouTube, where I am Crafty Cat Lady. If you want to email me, it is craftycatlady@gmail.com or thecatladydesigns@gmail.com. I also have a question, but I have so many ways you can contact me. So I am here for you. Alright, so with that, I am sipping on my iced coffee. I love coffee. I actually canceled my Panera coffee subscription for now, though, because it's just, I don't know, maybe I need to re-up it because the weather's breaking now. Like, I just canceled because I hate driving in the cold weather to get my coffee. But now it's starting to break a little bit. And the kids are going back to school full-time. Not that that matters if they're half-time or full-time. I don't know, but I just feel like I don't have a lot of time when they're half days now. So I rush out, I drop them off, and I feel like I gotta come right back home because I'm gonna waste that precious 2-hour or 3-hour block I have before I have to go back and get them. So it's like I feel like I can't take my time in the morning. So, but they are supposedly going to go back to school full days starting March 8th, so that is only a week away. Maybe I need to not cancel my subscription because it'll be more relaxing to drop them off and go get my coffee and not have to worry and rush around. This is a knitting podcast, so we're going to go back to that. So, knitting and crochet. So I have a finished object. I really don't want to pull it off because everything's so nice, so I'm not gonna. Okay, I will. This is the Just Feel Festive shawl. This is a crochet project, so yes, I do crochet as well. This is my first wearable crochet project, so usually I've made scarves, hats, the like. So I am new to the TikTok phenomenon, which I did not want to be a part of that either, but Instagram took away my music, which now I've gotten back. So long story, stupid story, really. But TikTok's kind of fun. It's really actually user-friendly compared to the Reels. So and you know, that's just diversifying where I'm at. So if you see me on TikTok, you also see me on Instagram. I'm kind of all over. And I feel like it's gaining steam with the crafty community. So I am jumping on board. So if you are on TikTok, follow me at the Cat Lady Designs. And this is my Just Feel Festive shawl. So this TikTok video took a long time because after each color, so I started here, I would have to stop and take a little video of me like zooming out of it. And then I would stop after this color and take a video, and then a video, all these videos, and then I took videos of me wearing it. So, and then I spliced them all together with some music, and yes. So this is made from my yarns. So this is the 12 days of perfect yarn. That was my sort of take on the Advent calendar last Christmas. So I did 12-day because I was already way behind. Usually people list their Advents in like June, and I launched my business in June, so we just did a half Advent, and I listed it in like October. So, but it turned out great. I really was happy with it. Everyone seemed very pleased. So I'd like to dye up some of these colors, and I did take a brief poll on Instagram. So if you go back in my feed, if you see any of these colors you want to see in a full skein, I did list some of them, not all of them. I have 2 skeins of cranberries available in the shop on DK right now. I really like Northern Lights. A lot of people like the Icicles, which is that really light blue. Winter Cottage is the blue and browns. Winter Sunsets, the blue, and lots of blue in here. Blue and orange and pink, I really like that one too. We got a vote for White Peppermint Bark, which was a nice one. Real easy one too. So yeah, so very, very excited with this shawl. So this is Just Feel Festive. It was a free pattern on Ravelry from Kalisha Ryan, who is also the Quirky Monday Craftcast. Pretty easy to style. Almost see all the colors. Just gotta get my hair out of there. There we go. So it's super easy. This only took like maybe like a week. Only took me a week. I don't think I entered it into Ravelry. I need to go back and look at my videos and stuff and see when I finished. I screwed up the first time. I had to recast it on, but after that it went pretty smoothly. So that is my only finished object this week, this last couple weeks. Oh no, I take that back. I have 2 more sort of finished objects. So Lion Brand has a program that, well, someone started the program and I really don't know. I should know their name, but I don't. And then Lion Brand kind of partnered up, but it's called Hat Not Hate, and that's there's an Instagram page for them, and that's their hashtag Hat Not Hate, and it's to promote anti-bullying, and they give out all these hats to kids in like October or something. And the thing is they have to be blue, and they have to be a certain percentage of blue. So this is Big Twist yarn, which is okay. I like Big Twist yarn, the Joann brand yarn, but as for hats for me, I don't care for as much. They're a little snug. But for hats for kids or teens, probably be okay. I mean, they stretch fine. I can get it on my head. I just feel like it's a little bit snugger than, say, the hats I've made. Caron Simply Soft. That seems to make the best hats, I feel. My hats out of Caron Simply Soft are a little looser. The yarn's a little thinner, I guess, so I guess I just get more like, I get just a little more give and a little bit more drape. Whereas this one's pretty stiff at the top because it's a little thicker. So I would like to go buy some more blue yarn in Caron Simply Soft and make up some more hats. But I still have a skein of dark blue that I plan on. Maybe I'll save that for something else. So maybe I'll just do it. But I need to find a donation spot. Usually local yarn stores, there'll be some that'll take them, or I think I can mail them. So, but 2 hats for Hat Not Hate. They should be long enough to roll up. Again, I did a TikTok video, so if you go to TikTok, you can see them on my head. So you can roll up a little brim, and it still should fit. And I feel like I have a slightly larger head than normal women, so I don't know. I could be wrong though. So I made those on the Addy Express king size knitting machine. So super easy, cranked them out in like, half an hour each. And they're super easy to finish. I don't know, just everything about it. It's just a fun, quick project. So, on to works in progress. I have a Make 9, and this is on my Make 9. And this is something I should have started like 2 years ago. So I'm making the Seclude sweater. This would be the 3rd time I'm making this sweater. I made this once for myself. couple years ago, and then I made one for my mom, and she liked it so much, she said, can you make me another one? And she bought me the yarn to do it. Same yarn, I just used Caron Simply Soft. Just simple, easy care acrylic. I like it, it's soft, it's kind of shiny. I don't know, it's just got nice, oh, and I'm in mid-row, awesome, but that's okay. So I am currently working on the back and forth shaping the V-neck. So this is actually not in the round, it's back and forth, which I feel like is taking forever because the purl rows are so long. So, but I currently am doing this. I'm hoping the sizing is right. I'm following the same size, I think, that I was last time. It looks okay. I think it looks good. So there's that. So that'll be the front. Eventually you'll join the round right at the V-neck here. So eventually. And so then we got the sleeves here. Yeah, so that's it. So I started this last week, I think. Right before maybe I was going to record, but didn't record. I think I started it. So again, I didn't put it in Ravelry. I haven't been using Ravelry. My husband asked, is Ravelry still a thing? Is Ravelry still have issues? Does, you know, is it just one of those things that blew over? Like, no, I don't think it has blown over. No, it definitely hasn't blown over. If you have problems, you can't use it. And for me, I use it to keep track of my projects because it's there. But it's not, I'm not as excited to go to it anymore, you know? It's just not the fun, happy place it was. I don't use the podcast group anymore. It's because I just don't want to use it. I don't want to encourage people to go there and then get migraines and stuff, so it stinks. So I will probably, maybe today, I'll sit down and see if I can update, figure out when I started things and figure that out. So that Caron Simply Soft blue is a really nice blue, so if I have leftovers of that blue, I might crank out a hat. So we'll see, for the hat not hate. What else is on my list? I am wearing my halo here today. I did not curl it, so to me it's really obvious, but being that I'm on a camera, kind of far away, it's probably not as obvious. But tell me if it is. But usually if you curl it, it kind of blends the ends together. I didn't curl it, so like my ends are here, halo ends here. I still need to do a video or something of me putting it in and out. I should have done it just now while I got ready, but I didn't, so I'll do that soon. I'm always trying to, of course, get more content out, either via YouTube channel, Instagram, so I'm trying, people. I have been doing a lot more dye videos, so if you go over to YouTube and Instagram / TikTok, I have a lot of dye videos. So I have quick Eve dye videos that are going on Instagram and TikTok, and then I have my longer, more explained videos that are so well, some of them are explained, but longer videos on YouTube. And they're not long, they're like 6 minutes long. The last one I did a voiceover the whole thing, so I did kind of explain what I was doing. So let me know if that's what you want to see more of. Let me know what you want to see, because it's easy for me to throw my camera up. I have my ring light over here, which holds my phone, so it's real easy to just pop my phone in and record whatever I'm doing. Maybe I'll do, someone asked for the link to how to make, or a video. She asked, what video did you use to make these rings? I did not use a video, and I don't think there is a video. So I'm not an avid crocheter, and I'm by means no expert, but maybe I should put together a video on how I made this ring. I don't know. But that takes time too, and I don't have a lot of spare time at the moment. So yeah. Next up we say, so I was approached by someone through email if I wanted to do what she calls a Saturday spotlight. And you know, I get a lot of emails from weird people saying, hey, come follow us on Instagram and we'll build your brand and all this stuff. And most of the time they're junk. So I went over to her YouTube channel. She is in the UK. Her name is Lady Bird Loves, I believe is what the full name is. And I did agree to it, but I still have to investigate her channel more. But she does these just like Saturday interviews with crafty folk. And I was recommended from a friend that so here's what happened. So I went to the channel, I saw her interview someone that like, oh, I know that person, she follows me, and you know, we've been friendly on social media. So I reached out to her, I said, hey, what's the deal with this Ladybird chick? Is this legitimate? And I saw you on there, it looked like it was cool. She's like, oh yeah, I recommended that she reach out to you. I said, oh, okay. So next, on Saturday, March 13th, and of course I will promote this and link it and whatever, I will have a streamed live interview with Ladybird Loves. And she doesn't show her face. She's like a streamer, so she kind of just like talks into a microphone. But we don't see her. She doesn't have an Instagram presence or anything, so it is a little different. But, and again, I think I saw she was live the other day doing some kind of gaming thing, so she's got an eclectic channel, but she's like more of a streamer, talker, than actual visual. But then the person that being interviewed is visual. I mean, if I didn't want to be visual, I don't think I could, but I mean, if I'm showing off stuff, crafty stuff, you kind of need to be. So, I don't know, and more people to see what I'm all about, more people to share my business with, why not? So next, in a couple weeks, Saturday, March 13th, I will be doing a live interview. And if you come and join, you can ask me questions. So she interviews me for, it was in a half hour, 45 minutes, and then there's like questions from the live audience, the last 15 minutes, something like that. So, I don't know, I'll probably make a fool of myself because that's what I do. And that's okay. So, stay tuned for that. I just had a shop update last week. So even in the midst of crazy life, I managed to get my shop updated, which I was good. Thank God I had all the yarn dyed, because if I didn't have all the yarn dyed, there's no way I would have got the shop update finished. So if you want to know when I have updates and what's going on in the shop, please sign up for my newsletter. All the links are down below. So that's the first people that know about shop updates usually are my newsletter. Sometimes you get coupons. You always get heads up. So it's kind of good to be in the know. So I had my shop update, so I thank you everyone who purchased some yarns. There's still plenty of yarn left in the shop. I have a video on Instagram that went over everything that was going into the shop. It's a little bit long, it's like 25 minutes. But if you want to see me talk about what's new, I mean it's all on the shop, but if you want to see it, see me fiddle around with it, you can go watch that Instagram video, IGTV. And that's it. Oh, two more things that are craft related, then we'll switch into like life gear. So, my husband and I did a Valentine's kind of gift early, so we just subscribed each other, so we each picked out a subscription box for each other. So I picked out a comic book box and he picked out a Disney Mickey monthly. So I received both, yeah, two, when we were going to do three. So I've already received my second box and I already showed it off, and I think this came in the, did this come in the second box or the first box? I don't remember now. This came, but what else came was a Diamond Dots kit. So Diamond Dots, if you don't know, is this weird little crafty thing. So this is the other crafty thing, that you have this canvas and it's got plastic on it because it's sticky. So there's already this like pre-sticky canvas and it's all painted with colors, and it's almost like it's essentially a paint by number. So I've started my Diamond Dots, so I've made it to about here. So I don't know if it sparkles at all. Let's see if I lift up the plastic, if I can get some sparkling in there. Oh yeah, there you go. So you can see the little Diamond Dots parts sparkle. So you take this like pen thing and you pick up the little dot and you stick it onto the sticky part. That's it. It's so mindless. It's so fun. It's so sparkly. I love Disney stuff. I don't think I'd ever buy Eeyore, but this was a perfect size to sample to see if it was something I even liked. I do like it, so I will go to the store. I think Joann's is actually having some on sale this week. And maybe buy a bigger one. The Reluctant Knitter, who is Reluctant Sisters podcast, she did a llama that was really cute. And it was pretty big, so... But they have a lot of Star Wars ones too, and they have cats, so I might go to Joann's and poke around and see what they have. And my husband's like, oh, get me one too, because, you know, again, it's just mindless, kind of easy. Sit at the table. It kind of hurts your back after a while because you're leaning over, but other than that, it's fun. So this will be done soon, because I did all this yesterday, so I almost did half of it. I made it up to here, halfway, in a couple hours, so I'll probably finish this today. Because it's kind of like addicting. It's like you just want to do it. Just keep doing it because it's fun. So that is it for the crafts. I will go into some life, or maybe I'll quickly divert to business, then life. So obviously I'm glad I didn't record last week because life would have taken up the whole episode because everything was fresh. So now I'm just gonna kind of skim what's been going on, and I won't cry about it. So. I think that's better. Anyways, business news. I am working on getting Advent pricing together and options. I have not fully decided what I'm doing, but I have so many notes on Advent. So stay tuned. I want to get that going. I just want to make sure I'm pricing fairly, and I'm not underpricing myself. I don't want to overprice myself out of the market either, so there's just a good balance. I want to put some extras in there, like for fun, so I'm researching what to put in for extras, but then I can't have them cost too much because, you know, because I have to raise the price. And then shipping, there's just so many factors, and like box sizing, and now I just thought of something on I always think about things in the car, or in places, or when I'm like laying down to sleep. Always in places I can't really write them down. But I did think of something in the car that might be good, that would help with shipping, like just a different way of shipping. Basically allowing me to ship it in a poly mailer instead of having to get a box. Because I could just throw them all in a poly mailer, but that's not the presentation I'm going for. So I think I figured out a way of maybe presenting them in a nice way, but putting them in a poly mailer. So, but again, I have to like mock up all these things and like figure out all these things before I even list it. I need to get my minis, which I did place an order for yarn. I have not received a confirmation on that yet. So stay tuned. It's still way early, obviously, but talking to some people already have Advents listed now. Most people get them up in like June. So if I can get mine out in June, and some people list them multiple times. So if I can get a first listing out in like May or June, and then catch a few people that are interested right now and want to just, you know, you have the money now, spend the money now, and not have to worry about it by Christmas. But then I'll list them again, maybe in like end of summer, August, September, because I'd like to start. Obviously, I want to get them dyed by like September, October would be the ideal. So, especially if I'm doing a full 24. So it was one thing to do the 12. I think I'm doing full 24. I am doing full 24. 12 is still working out the detail, and I need to plan my colors. I have an idea. I haven't nailed down my set of what I want yet, so stay tuned. If you're interested in a 2021 Cat Lady Advent calendar, please just let me know and reach out so I know how many to plan for, maybe, because again, this is also so random, and I just need to I kind of just guesstimate on everything. So I appreciate any feedback you have. I do have a survey out there too floating around on what bases you want to see, and if you are interested in any kind of sock club, that is on Instagram and Facebook. If you click on a link, there is a yarn survey. So that is all for business. Again, go ahead and hit the shop. There's lots of great yarns in there that will ship right away. So I need to put my notes in better order. So, another business thing. So, Aquila, of A Lefty Knitter podcast, and Johnny Bow Dyes series, is now cranking tubes and has an Etsy store, Knitty Bow Fiber Co. And one of our mutual clients, customers, followers, whatever, she approached me and said, if I order yarn from you, can you ship it directly to Aquila to crank a tube? So she's essentially supporting both our businesses. So she purchased the tube listing from Aquila, she purchased my yarn, and I am sending it directly to Aquila so that, you know, now she's not ordering the yarn from me, getting it shipped to her, and then having to send it to Aquila, who then has to send it back. So, you know, you're eliminating one of those postage things. So I am here to say, and I spoke with Aquila already, if you would like to purchase a sock yarn from me, I can ship it directly to Aquila and she can crank you a tube. So just let me know. Easy, you just gotta contact us, let us know. Like say, hey, I ordered this tube, I'm going to have the Cat Lady send you your yarn. I have her address, we are simpatico, and we are good to go. So if you'd like to see any of my yarns cranked as tubes from a professional knitting machine, like a sock knitting machine, then just you can order the yarn, say send to Aquila. I can confirm that you purchased the sock or the tube cranking from her, and we, you know, we talk all the time. So yeah, so I will probably promote that on Instagram at some point, but you know, if you're watching this and you think, oh, that'd be fun, buy a fun yarn and have it cranked into a tube. And what you do with the tube is you cut your own heels and toes into it and make a sock. I think she might have a listing to make socks too, so I'm not 100% sure what she's got listed, but you know, it's cool. So that's that. And that's it. That's it for business and all this. So now on to life. Let's sit back and relax. Take a deep breath. So first off, like, it was a great week prior. Like, so I left off with you guys right before Valentine's Day. We planned a epic Valentine's dance party that weekend, and it was great. We had a really good time. We had a really good time. So usually we had the mother, son, daddy, daughter dance. My time is gonna kind of go in a minute. So you know what? I'm gonna reset. Okay, usually I don't catch the time, so we're good now. We're good for another half hour, which I don't plan on talking the whole time, hopefully. So anyways, we usually go to the daddy-daughter, mother-son dance, and we have a really good time. But, you know, it's a lot of work. We get dressed up, we go out to eat, we get our pictures, and then we go to the country club and dance, and we don't know anybody because because we've been going to the neighboring district because they have a nicer dance. And they actually have a dance for the mom-son. So the mother-son dance in our town is not a dance, it's more of a magic show. And I just like David likes getting dressed up in his suit, and I don't know, it's nicer. So we don't know anyone, which actually makes it kind of more, you know, one-on-one time. So we have a good time, but we couldn't do that this year, obviously. We did it last year, we just squeaked it in before everything went crazy. So we did it this year, and we didn't do it this year. So we did it at home, and if you go over to my social media, I have videos of us dancing and looking silly and having our little snacks and dinner in our kitchen and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. Actually, I think the kids had more fun. I think we all had more fun in our living room than we did at the actual, you know, we had more control over the music, even though we tried to keep it with the same poppy kind of fun dance music, but I don't know, it was nice not to have to drive home because it's always so cold. And I got a new cheap dress from Amazon, which I loved, and it had I got a petticoat to go underneath it, so it was awesome. So I love that. So yeah, everything was great. So that was fun, and then, so that was Saturday, and then Sunday was Valentine's Day, and we literally had just a lazy day. My cats were laying on me all day. It was a great day. It was a great day. And then Monday and Tuesday I started playing around with the TikTok videos, and that was kind of fun. I was doing all those things, and I got a message from somebody, and I looked at the name, I'm like, oh, why are they sending me a message? But I didn't think anything of it, and I didn't look at it, because I misread who it was. So like an hour later, I go and look at the message, like, oh, what do they want? It's kind of the attitude I had. And on the bottom of the message, I mean, it was saying, hope you're well, blah, blah, blah. I just want to let you know that Chris died. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I think she's got the wrong person. And then I looked at the name again, and it clicked on who it was and who Chris was. And Chris was my ex-boyfriend. And when I say ex-boyfriend, it wasn't just like, oh, we dated for a little while and, you know, whatever. He was my boyfriend for 8 years, from senior year of high school through college, through after college. So literally I've had 2 long-term relationships in my lifetime, and it's been Chris and my husband now, Jim. So it really, it hit me really hard. And I started shaking, and I'm just, you know, it's like almost like panic attack mode. And, you know, this is a Facebook message, and I wrote her back, like, what happened? Can you call me? Can I call you? Just, you know, here's my number. And, you know, I was paralyzed. I didn't know what to do with myself. And so she called me, which it felt like forever. It was probably like 10 minutes, and she finally called. And, you know, she told me what happened. And he died of diabetic issues from diabetes, which was shocking because, you know, when we were together, he didn't have any issues like that. Apparently he probably did, but he didn't go to the doctor, so we didn't know. So, and apparently he's been dealing with diabetes for a long time. But he didn't take care of himself. So, like, this was 100% preventable. And he just had a lot of other, I think, emotional issues and things going on in his life. And I hadn't talked to him since, you know, since we broke up. And we broke up in not so friendly terms. I left him. He was unhappy about it. I was unhappy about it. I didn't want that to be. That's not what I wanted. So it was just that we had a very conflicted, complicated relationship. I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens when you grow up with someone. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't work out, but he was very stubborn. He was not willing to work things out a lot. A lot of things were just my problem, not his problem. That kind of thing. He wouldn't do therapy because he didn't want anyone else to tell him he had a problem. Pretty much. So, you know, it didn't work out. And we never talked to each other again after that, really. I mean, I spoke to him on the phone a couple times. And I think I sent him an email when I got married just because I wanted him to know and not hear it from somewhere else. Just little things like that. But he met a woman and got married not too far after I did. I want to say they were married in 2011. Yeah, that's probably about right. And we were married in 2008. So a couple years later. But they had been dating prior to, you know, I think when I got married, they were dating still. And they have a son who is the same age as my son, who is 8 years old. So he left behind a small boy, really, which stinks. It's terrible. But it was just very, very difficult to process at first. And then when it did start processing, like just so many emotions just poured out of me that I just didn't know. And my husband was like, I don't know the rules on what's in the rule book of dealing with your wife who's lost an ex-boyfriend. Like, I just don't even know. I didn't even know how to handle it. And I didn't expect to get so upset. I didn't expect this to happen, of course. But I didn't expect to get that emotional. But it was like all of these just memories and things that I'd never really thought about in a long time, you know, came to the surface. You know, we had a lot of crappy times, but we had so many good times. And again, it was a long relationship. And it was such a part of my life that was like, you know, the whole group that made me who I was. You know, I grew up with him, essentially. So it was hard. And I'm not in contact with any of his family or anything. I'm very happy that his friend, so the person that reached out to me was his best friend's wife, who, you know, we've all been friends. They were high school sweethearts. So I've been friends with them when we were all together. And we ran into each other briefly at, when the kids were really little. They had some little kids and I had little kids at a children's museum. And, you know, we talked for a minute and we caught up. And that was so many years ago. But she thought of me and she thought I'd like to know, which I 100% did. So yeah, so I went to the funeral. I told my friends that also knew him. And I have a friend that was in my wedding that I know her through him. Like, you know, they had a falling out before college ended. I stayed friends with her, or we reconnected, because we all kind of had a falling out, even though I was kind of like in the middle of it. But we were reconnected. She was in my wedding, I was in her wedding, you know, so we were good friends. So she came down, she lives about an hour from here. She came down and we drove into the funeral together, and then another college friend that was his roommate that I was also friends with came down from a lot farther away. He was like 6 hours away. But he came down, we all met at the funeral, and yeah, I reconnected with his mom and some of his family members, which was nice but weird. You know, all of it was weird. And then I ended up talking to his wife, which they were actually in the process of getting divorced because things were complicated. Things weren't going well. I mean, it's so similar but worse because there's a kid involved and his health was a mess. But his stubbornness, his inability to see the problems on his side and work together were still there. And I think he was kind of depressed, and, you know, he had a lot of the depression when we were together too. He was very possessive, but not in a mean way, but he just really wanted me with him all the time, and that was not something I could do, especially in school. I had a lot of school I had to do. And that's probably similar with her. Like, she can't be at his side every single second. She's got a social life. She's got friends and family and whatever. So, I don't know her, of course, but we chatted for a few minutes at the funeral, and I'm now friends with her on Facebook, which is kind of strange, but it was interesting. It's interesting to get insight of what they went through, and I feel like I can relate to her and her situation, and I just feel so bad for his son. And it sounds like his son is handling things okay, because his dad's been kind of out of it and not the same for a while now. So for a few years. So, you know, half of his life, his dad's been kind of not great, which is terrible. It's terrible. So yeah, it was a rough week. After Saturday, after the funeral, I felt like a burden was lifted. Like, I have held on to this burden of, like, I should call him, I should contact him, I should tell him. I just always wanted to reconnect. I always wanted to say, hey, how are you? I miss you. I miss knowing how you are. I don't miss you, but I miss, you know, I'm a sentimental person. I hold on to relationships for life, you know. I don't hold grudges. It was an important part of my life. I would have liked to just, you know, reconcile that a little bit. Didn't tell him I'm sorry that it ended that way. It had to end. No question, unless you were gonna go, like, be a different person, apparently. But I wanted to reconcile that, and I couldn't, obviously. And I didn't expect him to die. So, you know, I always hoped we'd, like, run into each other somewhere, because we both still lived relatively local. We're still a little ways away, but enough that we could have ran into each other somewhere. But yeah, that never happened, of course. And, you know, I didn't want to be weird ex-girlfriend, like, popping into the email saying, hey, how's it going? You know, and I didn't even have a way to contact him. I could have probably wrote a letter, which I feel like would have been even weirder. So I just never did. And he held such a grudge against me for leaving that I, like, you know, would he have even responded or wanted anything to do with me? I don't know. So, but after the funeral, and I said my goodbyes, and I said what was on my mind, you know, I feel like, and obviously there's nothing I can do now, so the burden has been released from me to, you know, try to reconnect. I'm hoping to reconnect with his mom a little bit. You know, we did chat, and she did say she would reach out to me, but who knows. I'm hoping to write down a bunch of stories that I have about him for his son. I have a few pictures. I don't have a lot, but I have a few pictures I could share of his dad in high school and college, because he doesn't have access to that part of his life, because his wife doesn't have access to that part of his life, really, except for maybe a few stories that he might have shared, but I'm sure he has pictures too. But I mean, me and a couple other college friends, we all have, you know, stories and stuff, so hoping to write some things down, send it their way, just so he has those. So it's very surreal. It's very weird. It's weird. That's like always the word I keep going to. It's just weird. So that was life last week. So that really just threw me off. And so, but we're past it now. And yeah, so that's what I'm sharing with you. And if I would have tried to share this last week, it would have been a hot mess. Which this is better. This is better. So sometimes it's okay to take some time off. All right. So with that, I guess your message for all of you out there is just, if there is some reconciliation you can do with someone, maybe you should try it. You know, if there's something that you like, I can't think of anybody else now that I would regret not reaching out to. I mean, there's one other person that I might send a letter to, and it was a friend of ours that I'd like to catch up with. But I don't know if I would harbor, like, this insane regret if I didn't. But I still might just send a letter, say, hey, how are you doing? You know? It's as easy as that, right? And if they don't respond, they don't respond. And you did your part, and you let them know that you care about them, or you think about them. So that's what I got. So he was only 40. So too young. From diabetes. Like 100% preventable. That's the part that's just so angry or infuriating. Like, you could have took care of yourself for your son. If anything, for your son. Even if it's not for your wife, for your son, your child, you know, like, but obviously he was in a place where he just couldn't. I don't know what's going on in his brain. So take care of each other, reach out to others if you feel something that you might regret not saying later. And keep up the crafting, and I hope you get to craft all the things.